We will start with this. I got the video idea from Banana Juju. I'm gonna straight up say it. It is 100% from Juju. She reacted to this, so I thought, hey, this sounds like an interesting topic. We're gonna look at this. The loneliness epidemic in modern women. 63% of men refuse to date or marry. I am incredibly curious. I don't know where that stat comes from, but I don't know if that stat is going to be brought up, but we're gonna look at that. I'm curious where that is in fact coming from, because here's a fun fact that people probably don't know. From a Norwegian study, they were basically, you know, loneliness can be studied. It can be put into values. It can be put into numbers. And here's a fun fact. Men's loneliness peaks around 40 and then again at the end of their lives, while women's loneliness gets gradually worse over the years. It's also, there's a difference in the lack of what is the difference in what is missing. Men suffer from more so social loneliness, and women more so from emotional. Weird. Interesting. My theory for that is, at least when it comes to men, I'm not a woman, so I can't answer on that. Lonely women need to answer that. I'm a man, so my assumption is that why it hits around like 40, mid-30s is probably because that's the first divorce. And then again, at the end of your life, because most men end up only with their wives being like their most important social factor. And when they die, that's usually, I'm assuming that's where it peaks. Regardless, we're gonna look at this.
Not a lot of people talk about the loneliness that you can feel in your late 20s and early 30s.
I literally cannot express in words how badly I want a relationship.
I just want to know, are there any people out there in their 30s who feel like they're just lost and
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this very harshly. If you, as a man or woman in your 30s, ask, where are the good men? Where are the good women? I'm gonna answer that question for you. They're in a relationship. They're married. You were wasting time drinking, partying, and now you question where the good men and the good women are. They're married. They're in relationships. They're gone. You're a leftover. Simply put.
confused in their life right now?
Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it.
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the growing loneliness epidemic hitting modern women hard. With 63% of men now refusing to date or marry, women are starting to feel the impact, and it's only getting worse. From career-first mindsets to unrealistic expectations, it's all catching up. Stay tuned as we break down the numbers, the reasons behind the shift, and
I also have to say, here's my take. The men and women that say that they don't need a man or they don't need a woman, shut the fuck up. You are coping. You are inhaling. You are, like, putting, like, straight up just, like, fuck it, put that cope into your, bloodstream immediately. You are going against everything we know about human socialization and human social behavior. You are not happy. Stop lying to yourself that you are lying 100%. It's just that the option might be worse. The outcome of dating might be worse, but you're not happy when you're lonely either. Shut up. You are lying.
Why so many women are now asking, where did all the good men go? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more eye-opening breakdowns.
This is just being in my early 30s. Maybe it's the political and economic climate. Maybe it's living in New York City. But I have lost so much interest in dating and finding a partner. I do believe my partner, he will stumble into my life. It's not something that I need to go searching for.
I hate this take so much. Nothing comes from nothing. Just like you won't get any money if you don't work, you won't find a partner if you're not present. If you don't go anywhere, if you don't do anything, there won't be, your partner will not be delivered. Your wife, your future husband will not be delivered to your doorsteps. They won't be delivered. Buddy.
Obviously, you do need to put yourself out there. That's never been an issue for me as an extrovert. But I just have noticed my mindset has really flipped. And it is so hard for me to even leave space for dating and romance currently. And it's not because I'm cynical. And it's not because I don't believe that all men are bad. I'm very lucky to have amazing examples of men in my life who I do trust and love, but something in me is so motivated to become astronomically financially independent. It just feels like if a man showed up today and let's say he's the dream package, the look, he's kind, he's smart, he's caring, like all of my boxes checked. I still think if I was on my deathbed and didn't accomplish these like extreme big dreams I have for myself, I will be sad. And one of my big...
Then it's not the men. It's you. Then it's not the men. It's you. It absolutely is you. This has nothing to do with the men. That is you. 100. That is 100% on you. I'm sorry. Then you made your decision. You want to have a good career, so you will sacrifice having a relationship, having a family. That it is that simple. You will not have both to a full extent. I am sorry. Then you made your decision. Then it is what it is. Then stop crying. Oh my goodness.
Dreams is to get married and have a family, but certain career markers, and it's not the external, it's not chasing validation from other people, it's just actually stepping into who I really want to be and what I want to share in this world. I don't know if, does this make any sense? It's just so hard for me to imagine right now. It started since like the beginning of 2025. Just like, no.
There is a harsh truth to be said. You need to make a decision. It is either going to be career or family. Men have to make that decision as well. They're just more willing to make that decision. You cannot have both. I can tell why people cannot have both, because you can always tell that there's extreme problems in relationships where, for example, the man is the main breadwinner, right? And he works his ass off, and like he has no time for his kids and his wife. It is what it is. Then you make that decision.
No interest in being romantic, no interest in meeting new guys, and every date I have gone on, they've been fine, just like fine. I feel like the apathy in that section of my life is very clear, and I'm just excited to kind of like build this life on my own. And like I don't have a doubt that the more full my life is, he's just gonna arrive and I don't have to chase after it. Does this resonate with anyone, please?
So this woman, early 30s, just shared that she's lost a lot of interest in dating. She says she still believes her partner will eventually stumble into her life. She's not actively searching anymore. She's just waiting for the right guy to show up. And honestly, that mindset is becoming more common than you think. But here's where it gets real.
The minds of the stupid, though.
Real. She might not have said she doesn't need a man, but her peers did, loudly, consistently, and across every platform. I don't need no man has been the anthem for a while now. And guess what? Men listened. They took a step back. They stopped showing up. Why put in effort, time, and vulnerability if the cultural message is that you're unnecessary? The result? Women like her are left feeling disillusioned. She didn't push men away personally, but the collective voice of modern singlehood did, and now she's caught in the aftermath. She's waiting for a man to stumble into her life, but the men have already exited stage left. Checked out. Tired of being told they're not needed, not appreciated, or only valued for what they can provide. And this is the part that stings. Not because she's wrong for wanting love, but because passivity in dating today is a losing game. The days of waiting to be
That's the thing, right? That's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If you tell whether you have a wife or a husband, whether you date men or women, if you tell that person you don't need them, this relationship is over. This relationship is over. This whole bullshit with, I don't need you, I want you. That is bullshit. That is absolute, utter bullshit. I want you, I don't need you. Because when you're not needed, goodbye. That's usually how it goes. Goodbye. At that point, the relationship is over.
Found are gone. If men feel like they're walking into a trap, being tested, judged, or undervalued, they're not sticking around. They're choosing peace. She may be ready for love, but is she ready to meet men where they are?
I'm single.
I'm also gonna say this might be a hot take, but I don't feel like men don't date anymore. I feel like that's also cope. What I think is happening, men are putting in less effort because the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I do think the vast majority is on dating apps. I do think the vast majority is still trying to somehow, in some way, date. Or has hopes of some sorts. I just think that no effort is putting into it. And that's why it seems like they're not dating, because, well, if you repeat something over and over and over and the outcome is the same, eventually you'll just start putting in less effort for the same thing over and over. I mean, nothing changes anyway, so you might just do a half-assed attempt.
I'm 35, and quite honestly, I'm lonely. And this is yet again another vulnerable post, which is becoming a little bit of a trend. I've already cried a few times trying to make this, but I just so truly believe in authenticity and relatability. So if this helps one person know they're not alone, it's worth it. I'd say the past couple of years, it's been hard. I feel like I'm at this age, probably since the pandemic, from like 30 to 35, the gap between life with my friends.
As harsh as it is to say, I'm sorry, but it is your weight. You're overweight. That's the reason. That's the main reason. That is the main reason. Sure, it might be a bit of attitude, probably quite a bit of attitude, but I think the main reason is you're overweight. That if you fix that, you'd have much greater chance. A much greater chance. You are overweight. And that is the unfortunate harsh truth. You are obese.
Has grown. I really don't have many single friends. And I still like and enjoy the things I did 5 years ago. Like, I still want to go out, have a cocktail, flirt, dance, and just enjoy the unpredictability that comes with going out. But here I am, it's Saturday night.
Another problem I've noticed, again, I can only speak as a young man, right? I can only speak as a young man. Another thing I've noticed, you want to act like you want to be in a relationship, but act like you're single. I've noticed that. I have noticed that. You want to act like you're single while being in a relationship. That does not work. That does not work. If you don't compromise in a relationship, your relationship is doomed.
I'm staying in clearly. I was also in last night, and it's just not what I want. But if my one single friend isn't available, then I'm just out of luck. And this doesn't stop me from doing stuff. Like, I went to the movies alone today, all that stuff. I would go to a bar alone, but that's not really...
That is so sad. Why would you watch a movie alone? Why would you watch a movie? That's so sad. Why would you want to watch a movie alone? Huh? That's depressing.
Really what I'm going for. Like, I want a cocktail, I want a yap, I want to have, like, connection. Not with strangers, but, like, someone to build friendship or stories or things like that with. And it doesn't have to be cocktails. It could be, let's go to a fitness.
The harsh truth is everyone is in a relationship or married. They're already having kids. They're starting families. And you feel left behind because all your friends have no time for you anymore because they have to focus on what's more important, which is their own family. Some of them might already have like toddlers running around. People don't have all that time anymore for that. Again, this is what happens when you are, if you don't socially keep up, essentially.
Class, different things. But I just feel like I'm at this point where these last couple months, I've really tried to put myself out there. I joined a nonprofit board, took a leadership position right away, did 2 of those time left dinners where you go to dinner with strangers. I went to an event that was just for single girls. In theory, they're nice, but the reality is there isn't really any follow through. After both the time left dinners, I was left with phone numbers. After the single girls event, I left with phone numbers. And it's really uncomfortable. I was always the one to initiate and try to be like, let's grab a drink sometime soon. And just nothing ever came of it. And I think that's what's the most frustrating part, is I feel like I'm doing the right things. So here I am, making yet again another sappy TikTok post that honestly I will probably cringe at, but it's the uncomfortable things that push you. So if you would like to grab a
Lose weight and all of your problems will just disperse. Not all of them, but most of them, when it comes to dating, will just disperse. Lose weight. I think like most people agree that not taking care of your health or body is most definitely unattractive. I feel like. I think we can all agree that that's the case.
cocktail, go to a sports game, go to a fitness class, like anything, just looking for new friends in your 30s. You don't have to be single, but willing to still do the things that single people like to do. Like, my DMs are always open, always looking for friends, and I definitely prefer like one-on-one to start, because like I really want to get to know people. So DMs are open, I'll leave it at that. And if you are struggling through anything like this, just know you're not alone.
So here's the deal. This woman is 35, single, and she's feeling lonely. But if we take a closer look, it's not just about being single. It's about the choices she made along the way, and the way society has conditioned so many women to believe that they're better off on their own, or that they can't settle for anything less than perfection. Throughout her 20s and early 30s, she probably had a long list of requirements for a partner. The perfect career, the perfect looks, the perfect lifestyle. And while she was busy waiting for that perfect man, she overlooked the reality.
Obviously there's a chance that that's the case, but I feel like it's a wait. I think that's the biggest problem standing between her and a relationship is her weight.
Reality that nobody's perfect. But here's the kicker. She got so focused on her standards that she may have unknowingly pushed away men who actually could have been a good match. Now, at 35, that list of ideal qualities has gotten even more specific, and the window to find a partner is closing, all while the chances of meeting someone with the same mindset are slimmer than before. The reality is, she may have spent too much time thinking that she had all the time in the world. She didn't embrace.
I feel like that window closes around mid-30s, because most people that are willing to be in a relationship are already in a relationship. Like, the people that you would want to date are already gone. They're gone. They're taken by an early age, young. They're taken young. Result of YouTube. It's not worth the risk. It's that simple. Yeah.
Embrace opportunities when they presented themselves, and now loneliness is creeping in. It's easy to point fingers at the men who didn't step up, or society for being too hard on women as they get older. But the truth is, the blame lies in the choices she made. Waiting for things to fall into place without actively pursuing relationships or being willing to compromise and meet someone halfway means missing out on the very thing she now feels so lonely without. So, here's the lesson. If you're waiting for the perfect partner while being too rigid about what that looks like, you might end up spending a lot of time waiting. And eventually, you'll realize that time was the most important thing you lost.
I'm raising my standards. Here are types of men that I will never, ever, ever, ever.
Septum piercing. Here we go. Here we go. The septum. The septum.
Never date ever again. Number one is the fashion guy. I just know if your outfit is that good, you are manipulative as fuck. Like, you look good and you know you look good, and men should never know that they look good. Stop that. Number two is the soft boy. I know what you are. You don't want a girlfriend. Older men, bro. Like,
okay. Men that know that they look good, out of the question. Sensitive men. Gay. Older men. Also gone. Yeah, you're fucking yourself, literally, possibly, at this point.
I can justify.
She's a Hello Kitty girl. I mean, come on. Come on. She's a Hello Kitty girl. I mean, we know where this is going.
The behavior between the two of us because I have daddy issues. What's your excuse? You have unborn daughter issues? What the hell? Also, why do all of you insist on beating me? Oh my god. Every older man that I have ever been with is like, you know what? You're not my father. Stop hitting me. Thirst trap intermission because I can't deal with the trauma. Yeah. Any boy that lives in LA County, all of it, the entirety of LA County, you're wicked. You are beyond evil. There is something sinister and you need therapy. There is something so wrong with you.
I think somebody needs therapy. And it ain't the men. Why is it always that every time a woman wears a septum, not always, I've seen women with septum actually that are actually good people, in fact. But it's always that they basically wear their trauma on their like on their sleeve. She looks like someone who would actively chase men specifically for their income. Absolutely, 100%. Men age like wine, women age like milk. Looks-wise, I'd agree. I would agree on that. But in life, I'd actually disagree. Because while men don't have a biological clock, they do have we do, and we have to admit this, we do have a financial clock. There is a time limit on which to be financially successful. We have a financial clock, I'd say. There is a time limit on how successful you will be financially. And that is an uncomfortable truth, but we do have a clock as well. It's just not a biological one. It's a financial one. The value swaps at the age of 30. If you, as a man, made the right choices. If not, you're just equally as cooked.
I mean, all of them. What the hell? This one is embarrassing to even say, and I have nobody to blame but myself for this. Frat boys. Oh. God forbid a white boy catch a vibe. I heard it.
She 100% got a train wrecked on her. 100%. Absolutely. Most definitely.
One time, and I was like, oh my god, yes, maybe this time. Maybe it's time to take your head out of your ass. Any guy that plays anything in a band, he could even be like the band manager. It's really
what is even left at this point? Is there even any men left at this point? I think she covered like 90% of us at this point.
Fun until it isn't, but I know that it's a problem when I start to feel like Miss Girlie Supreme from that Blondie song. No, never again. This is worse than 9/11.
Here's the thing. This woman is raising her standards, but in reality, she's just narrowing her own options, and not in a way that works for her long term. She set these arbitrary rules about the types of men she will never date. No fashion guy.
That's the thing. That is the thing. Is it really that? Is it really that? And have more value at 30, home, money, job. My friend, do you own a house? I know you're older than me. Do you own a house? Because I know for a fact, no matter what kind of job I'll take, I will not own a home. My children will not own a home. I actually would argue that I disagree with some parts, and that is definitely the home part. Absolutely. We are not owning homes. at 30. We are not owning homes at 30. Most certainly not. Nope. 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 I don't even think that goes for the majority of us. Honestly, she says no fashion guy because she would look better. He would look better than her. And she's afraid of that. Possibly as well, yes.
No older men, no guys from LA County, and absolutely no band guys. While having preferences is fine, it's clear she's created a mental checklist that's only going to limit her choices. What she doesn't realize is that she's ignoring the bigger picture here. It's not about avoiding men with certain hobbies, jobs, or styles. It's about the value they bring to the table. By ruling out entire groups of men based solely on external characteristics.
See, women are complaining about the question, what do you bring to the table? But this question only comes up if you're demanding. This question is only being asked if you're demanding. So yes, for her, I can 100% ask, what do you bring to the table? What makes you so special compared to all the other women? What makes you better as a partner than all the other women with how demanding you are? Chances are, it's her body. And not gonna lie, that would not fly with me.
Characteristics like their fashion sense, their age, or where they live. She's creating barriers that prevent her from finding someone who might actually be a good fit for her. On top of that, she's wearing nose rings and tongue piercings, things that are often considered a red flag by many men. While she might think it's her style or her way of expressing individuality, the reality is that many men see these as signs of immaturity or rebellious behavior. It's a bit of a double standard. She's rejecting men for their choices, but she doesn't seem to recognize how her own choices might be affecting the way others view her. The truth is, she's setting herself up for failure by rejecting men for superficial reasons. The right person might be exactly the type of person she's rejecting. If she keeps playing this game of, I'll never date this type of guy, she'll only end up alone, with no one to...
You will not find a partner if you're not compromising. That is just how it is. That is just how it is. The truth is, men are more willing to compromise than women. That is also a harsh truth that women need to realize. Men are more willing to compromise.
Blame but herself. Raising her standards is one thing, but it's crucial to make sure those standards are actually grounded in the values that matter for a long-term relationship, not just a list of things to say no to.
I literally cannot express in words how badly I want a relationship, and I'm so embarrassed to say that out loud. I literally made a whole spam account because I'm so ashamed of wanting it so badly, and if I talk about it on my main account that everyone in my life knows, then they all know that I'm a fucking fraud. Like, I am just so tired of dating, and I don't know what it is about me at this point. I've had one.
If you post this on a second account, on an old account, and people see that old account, do you think your friends would not find out? Do you think your friends would not find out that you had an old account? I'm sorry, but that's not how it works.
Relationship, and it was terrible. He was insanely abusive, and like, yeah, that's not like normal, but like, I've never had another boyfriend ever since and before, so it's like, it's hard to know where that line is of normalcy. And I just feel like as a woman that's like pretty attractive, I'm okay, you know? Like, people just assume that like, oh, it must be so easy. No, it's terrible. It's literally terrible. And I'm not saying that I'm like the prettiest person in the world, you know, but like, I have good morals. Like, every time I meet a man, I'm like, oh, you're so refreshing to talk to, because I can hold a conversation, because I talk about normal things, because I can't put on a fucking persona. I can't fucking fake it. I can't be this fucking Shira 7 type person. I wish I could, but I can't. I'm so unfortunately genuine. I'm not like super open right away, obviously. Like, I know how to date, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know what it is. Like, I really don't know where it's happening for everyone except me, and I know it'll come when you expect it. Okay, I've been not expecting it, and then it's like, oh, you have to put yourself out there, so I put myself out there, and nothing. It's like I genuinely think that I'm gonna die alone. Like, I really mean that. Like, I'm so tired, and it's exhausting, and I really try not to let it affect me.
Chances are there were plenty of dudes. She just didn't want to have any of them. That's the reality. There were plenty of dudes. Cause guys, we need to realize, or many of us need to realize, that the homies are desperate. The homies are absolutely desperate. So if she would come up to a dude, 99.9% success rate.
On a deep level, but it does. And every time I'm outside, that's all I think about. Every time I see a couple, it's all I think about. I genuinely get so fucking frustrated thinking about it because I've never had something normal. I have never had a normal boyfriend where I can be nice and loving and they are nice and loving. Like, my ex was so mean to me, dude. Like, so fucking mean. He would call me names. He would do so much shit to me. It was crazy. And
also, potentially, you might still be hung up on your previous relationship. That might also be a big reason. You might still be hung up on your previous relationship.
Like, I just don't know what it's like to have a guy. I know what it's like to have a guy into you. Everyone's into me. But, like, actually want me as a person, as a human being, to date, like, forever, that's not a fucking freak. Nope. Even the freaks don't want me. I don't know.
This woman...
There might be a chance that... How about you stop sleeping potentially with dudes on the first date? Stop sleeping with dudes. Stop. Stop. Just stop. I beg of you, stop. If you'd stop, then potentially you'd also eventually find the guy that wants to be with you and not just inside you. Oh my god, is this really that hard of a concept to understand? Because I feel like that's the case. I feel like that's the case. That's why I'm always saying femcells and incels are not the same. Incels don't get sex. Femcells can get sex, but not a relationship. That's the thing. Honestly, I only have basic standards. For the rest, I don't really give a shit. Yeah, and you're still cooked. Would you look at that? Can't be you.
Is genuinely lonely, and it's clear she's craving companionship and connection. The problem here, though, is that she's asking, where are all the men, without looking at the very men who might already be interested in her. The truth is, she's likely surrounded by men in her friend zone or even guys in her DMs who could be potential partners, but she's overlooking them. The reality is, she's too focused on the idea of the perfect man, which is clouding her judgment. Her loneliness isn't because there's a lack of men. It's because she's been too selective or possibly too focused on superficial aspects to see who might already be a good match. Many times, women like her put men into the friend zone without considering them as potential partners, and then wonder why they're not getting...
I'll take the friend zone is self-inflicted, and if you don't want to be friends with a woman, why do you stick around thinking you have a chance? If a woman is not into you, she's not into you. If you want to be friends out of a genuine friend reason, that's different. But if you're spawn camping until she's eventually into you, then that's your own fault. It's self-inflicted. The friend zone is self-inflicted. I have never been in the friend zone. And do you know why? Because I never pursue... If I like a woman, I am not pursuing friendship. So if I'm being rejected, why would I stick around? That is uncomfortable for her. That is uncomfortable for me. The friend zone is a myth. It is self-inflicted. 100%. It is. And for the women, they kind of do have their own zone, which is the fuck zone. That one is also self-inflicted. Why do you stick around the dude who only wants to sleep with you? I do not get it. Some of these are 100% self-inflicted. Hey, the basic standards are essentially, can she stomach being around me and like me? That's about it. Isn't that the bare minimum? Isn't that the bare minimum? This nitpick relationship is also educational failure. True. Absolutely true.
The romantic attention they desire. Instead of actively seeking out new connections, she should be reassessing the relationships she already has. It's also worth considering that the loneliness epidemic is real, and it's hitting hard, but the cause of her loneliness isn't just external. She's actively contributing to it by pushing men away. Men who might not fit the exact mold of what she's looking for, but could bring a lot to the table. By refusing to see the value in those already interested in her, she's unintentionally setting herself up for more loneliness. At the end of the day, the question she should be asking herself isn't, where are all the men? But rather, why am I shutting out the men who are already showing interest?
Again, I said this earlier, but my hot take is, if you don't get into a relationship early, you're fucked. Hi Zoom, how are you doing? Hope you're doing good. If you don't get into a relationship early, you're fucked. Because let's face it, the longer you wait, the more baggage you're gonna have, the more baggage she's gonna have, and you have to deal with each other's trauma the entire time, insecurities the entire time that you wouldn't have if you got into a relationship and married young. All this like long dating around, this like bullshit insecurity, nobody wants to be locked down, all this nonsense and waste of time. I am a firm believer that if you're only dating to date around, you are a moron. You are an imbecile, a half-wit. Why are you wasting each other's time? Absolute bullshit. Abysmal dog shit. The idea that you can just date around in your 20s and be fine later in your 30s. And then that goes for both men and women.
Until she addresses that, the cycle of loneliness will only continue.
For some reason, my For You page has been filled with women in...
Like, we have literal statistical proof that the later you get into a relationship, the more problems that relationship will have. There's literal statistic evidence. We can even look at couples that were virgins at their wedding day. And we have literal proof that those marriages hold on for the longest. They exist for the longest. Bullshit. Mostly true, Poker, how the quotes say, early wake up, bird eat first. The early bird catches the worm, something like that. You get the idea, yeah. It's just like, we can tell it doesn't work. We can tell it does not work. And I'm gonna say this as well. Men need to be held accountable too. You cannot sleep around and then expect women to not sleep around. Who are you going to sleep around with? Like this red pill bullshit of, yeah, men, they need to have a lot of girls, they need to sleep around. Absolute bullshit. If you don't sleep around, the women are not going to sleep around. If the women don't sleep around, you're not gonna sleep around. Who are you gonna sleep around with? Men? My goodness. It is absolute bullshit. Women have gone more bad. That does not excuse for us men to go bad or worse. I'm sorry.
Their early 30s who are really just tired of dating and talking about how they don't know if they're ever going to find their person and they're just feeling unloved and unlovable. It's like Charlotte York. You know, I've been dating since I'm 16. Where is he? And I just wanted to say, as someone who is 36, who's totally off the timeline trajectory that I thought I was going to be on. You know, last year I thought I was going to be a mom, and instead I'm going through a divorce. And it really took me going through this to become more comfortable than ever in the place that I'm at in my life, which is, again, not at all where I thought I would be. Don't get me wrong, it's been the hardest year of my life. I wouldn't wish divorce on anyone. It sucks, 0 out of 10, don't do it. But the delay in what I thought my life would look like has brought me so much inner peace.
Divorce regret is real. Divorce regret is absolutely real, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
Peace, in a way, really made me realize that I spent so much of my life white-knuckling it and trying to force things to happen.
Also, you're 36, you're fucked. You might get remarried, but you're not gonna have children. You're fucked. You're not gonna be a mom. I'm sorry, too late.
Trying to control situations, and I am at peace now because I just know that I'm not in control of any of it. I am open to anything. I am attached to nothing. I am confident in the knowledge that I will get to be a mom someday and that I will meet the person.
Nope. Nope. Impossible. I'm sorry. Girly. Pack it up. Pack it up!
That I'm supposed to be with, but I'm not really looking. I'm not forcing it. I'm just kind of going with the flow. And I understand that that's so much easier said than done. I mean, nothing about this experience has been easy, but if I can impart anything on you, women in your early 30s, women in your mid 30s, without having to go through what I've gone through, it's just relax. Relax and trust that you are lovable, that you are worthy, and that your path might not look the same as all of the people around you, but it doesn't make you any less special.
I know 15% of people that watch me are women. Take this woman as an example. Do not listen to her. Do not listen to her. You might need to work on yourself. You might need to lose weight. You might need therapy. You might need to visit a doctor. You might need to change some of your bad behavior. This, like, weird coddling of, like, you don't need to change is so weird to me. It is so weird. She still can adopt. Though, sure, but for that, she first needs to find somebody that she can adopt the child with. And for most people, whether you're a man or a woman, I feel like if somebody's divorced before that, divorced already, and you're dating them, I think for most people that's already a red flag. Not for all people, but for most people, that I think that could be a red flag already.
And beautiful and worthy of love. And something that I take solace in is, you know, I look at how quickly my life changed. This time last year, I was in a totally different situation, and it changed like that. Now I'm in a new apartment, I'm in a new phase of life, I'm starting a new business. Like, my life has done a complete 180 since last year. And I really take a lot of comfort in the fact that if my life could change so fast for what felt like the worst, that means it can change just as quickly for the better. One of the benefits of being older and dating.
It can, but there is no guarantee. It can change, but there's no guarantee whatsoever.
And finding love when you are older is how quickly that process can happen. Older, wiser, we want the same things. You want to start a family, boom, boom, boom. It just happens. I've seen it. Anyways, it was a lesson.
Also, I don't agree with the old and wiser. We live in a society where 30-year-olds can behave like kids. We live in a time where we can see 30-year-old boys and girls. Maybe back in the day that may have been true. That may have been true once in history because you were forced to grow up. But nowadays that's not really the case. You are not forced to grow up. There is nothing that forces you to grow up. So I would actually agree with the older and wiser. Because you're old and still stupid. Agree, red flag for why the divorce was a thing in the first place. Yeah, that's like the thing. Let me guess, the new business is OnlyFans. I highly doubt that. She's too old for that. The average woman makes like $180. That, nah, probably not happening.
And that I really had to learn the hard way. And so if I can help anyone from not having to learn it the hard way, that's always my goal. And yeah, like, it's gonna happen.
At least she admits, do not divorce.
It's gonna happen when it's supposed to. Life is all gonna work out exactly how it's supposed to. And worrying about it doesn't make it any easier. So take care of yourself, do things that make you happy, and the right person will come along.
Do not do things that make you happy. Do things that are needed, that are necessary. My advice is, in general, don't do what feels good. Do what is right. Sometimes doing what is right is also doing what feels good. But I am a firm believer that if you just constantly chase what makes you feel good, you're gonna end up in the place that you don't want to be. I feel like that is a really bad advice. Do what is actually right, even if it doesn't necessarily bring you the most happiness.
I guarantee it. If you want more life advice from someone who has gotten older and wiser from starting over in my mid-30s, be sure to follow.
This woman in her mid-30s, single, childless, and lonely, finds herself reflecting on a reality she never imagined, that she'd be in this position at this stage of her life. She thought that finding love later in life would be easier. After all, she'd know what she...
How do people even come to that conclusion? How do people genuinely come to the conclusion that the longer you wait, the more likely you're going to find a partner? That never made sense to me, how people would ever come to that conclusion. The longer you wait, the less options you are going to have. This never made sense to me. There is no logic behind it. Nobody, when you go shop for groceries, nobody says, go later during the day. There's gonna be more options to buy stuff. Nobody says that.
You wanted and what to look for. But here's the problem. Knowing what you want doesn't always lead to getting it. While having more clarity on her needs and desires is important, the reality is that dating in your 30s often comes with its own set of challenges. The pool of potential partners might not be as wide, and the dynamics are different compared to when she was younger. The harsh truth is that many men in her age range may already have families, be set in their ways, or simply not be on the same page when it comes to starting something new. Her belief that age brings wisdom is true to an extent, but it can also lead to heightened expectations. As we get older, it's easy to become picky or overly specific, narrowing the scope of potential partners to an unrealistic degree. While she now knows what she wants, she may not be as open or flexible as she once was, which can hinder her chances at finding love. The reality is that she's had to face the fact that love might not come when and how she expected. The notion that finding love later means just knowing more about what you want is flawed, because sometimes it's about adjusting to what's available, being open to new possibilities, and accepting the imperfections in both yourself and your partner. Until she embraces that, she may find herself in the same lonely situation, holding on to expectations that are increasingly harder to meet.
I'm gonna say it, and you're not gonna like what I have to say. You're not gonna like it, man. You're not gonna like it. Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it.
They are already married with women that wanted them at a younger age. The men and women that want families will absolutely, at a young age, will absolutely 100% find each other. And if you think that you can party through your 20s, until your mid-30s, whether you're a man or a woman, you're gonna get absolutely fucked. Because you can then choose between trash and garbage. Congratulations. Well, drugs are an example for immediate good feeling and all the wrong decisions. Do what's right, eventually you'll feel the best. True. The good men and the good women are taken by that point. They are.
They don't make men like they used to. I'm gonna say it loud and proud, because tell me why men these days, they don't want to do an oil change. They don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to do anything. If Google doesn't know, babe, they don't know. Tell me why my dad knows every single thing.
Hot take. If you are a good woman, you can get a man to do what he needs to do. Hot take. That is a hot take that I have. You can get a man to do what he needs to do, but you need to be worth it. You need to be worth it for doing it. And I can tell you aren't. Because if you were, you wouldn't be making this video. Translations, where are the rich, athletic, turbo mover, handsome men that are also smoothing conversation? Pretty much. Also, hi Bryson, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Pretty much.
To do with his hands. I could ask my dad to literally build a bridge for me to get to the other side of the road. That man will do it within 1 hour. You ask a man this day and age, hey, can you tell me how to check my tire pressure? Yeah, let me Google that. What do you mean you have to Google it? What do you mean you have to Google it, man? What do you mean? You are a man. This is what you're built for, babe. This is...
I wonder if she has the exact same attitude when it comes to cooking. I wonder if she has that same attitude when it comes to cooking. Like, can you cook a meal from scratch like your mother? Can you do that? You probably have to Google. I don't just throw that joke around like an insult only when it seems relevant. I mean, it is relevant for a lot of these women that make these videos.
What you're built for, and you don't even know how to check my tire pressure. Please. I'm sick of having men that don't know how to literally use their hands. I'm sick of it. Be a man!
Not a lot of people talk about the loneliness that you can feel in your late 20s and early 30s. And I believe a lot of this is because we're starting to realize what our values are. And some people are just lucky and maybe aligned with similar values that their childhood friends have or their high school friends. But in my case, and a lot of other people probably, it's like the more I realize my values, the less I'm interested in connecting with people that I've had.
I feel like this goes for men and women. A lot of the desires that you have in a partner, they are likely not yours. They are what other people tell you that they are. Other people, see, here's the thing. Instead of going for things that you want, maybe you should look at yourself and be like, what do I need from a partner? What do I genuinely, bare bones, need from a partner? And maybe go for what you need. Go for the puzzle piece that fits you instead of going for somebody so others can say, oh, look. Because I feel like that's a big problem. I feel like a lot of people also choose their partner based on what other people say. And not so for what they actually need in a partner. Maybe that's just me, but I've seen it. I've seen it on both men and women. I have seen it. I can immediately tell. Maybe that's also the reason why we have so many people in relationships that don't even like each other.
In my life for years. And it's a really lonely feeling because when you approach your late 20s, people already have integrated friend groups. They already have, you know, spouses. They already have children. They have lives that you're trying to integrate into. And it can be really tricky. I'm grateful I have my fiance. I'm grateful I have some of the friends that I have. But regarding like a really close-knit friend group, I don't have that right now. And it feels weird saying that.
This woman is in her late 20s, early 30s, and is starting to realize something many women face at this age. Loneliness isn't just about being single. It's about the deeper realization that they've figured out their values, and now, things don't feel as easy as they once did. The truth is, once you start understanding what you truly want, it often highlights what you don't have or what you've been missing, and that can bring a sense of loneliness that wasn't there before. But here's the thing. The blame isn't on the world, men, or circumstances. It's on her own choices.
I mean, she doesn't really fall into that dating loneliness category, right? She shouldn't be in this video, in my opinion, because she is engaged. She has a fiance. She is engaged. She doesn't fit that. I think what she should fit into isn't just like a general loneliness video, because that's also a thing that does not get brought up, is that we have less tightly knit communities in a way, because, right, everything's now online and people just like, they essentially, people don't touch grass together. I mean, there's a reason why there has been a recent trend where people eat pudding with a fork. Like, they go to like places together and eat pudding with a fork together. There's a reason why stuff like that randomly popped up. So yeah, I don't think she fits into this video.
As women start to figure out what they truly value, the stakes get higher. They've gone through their younger years chasing what they thought they wanted, only to realize later that the superficial stuff just doesn't matter as much anymore. But as the realization sets in, it can often lead to a feeling of disconnect because, guess what? Men might not be on the same page or ready to meet those evolved expectations. The frustration here is that this woman has grown and evolved, but she hasn't done much to adjust her approach. She's set these new standards, but they're often so specific or idealistic that she's pushing potential partners away without realizing it. By focusing too much on her newfound values, she might be missing out on something deeper: the willingness to compromise and adapt. Her loneliness is a direct result of expecting perfection and not being open to people who might not exactly match her checklist, but still offer the things that truly matter in a relationship. Instead of embracing the journey, adjusting her expectations, and finding someone who can grow with her, she's created a gap between what she wants and what reality has to offer. And the sad reality is, until she lets go of the rigid standards or idealized versions of what she expects, she'll keep feeling that ache of loneliness she's now grappling with. Her loneliness isn't just about age or what she's learned. It's about not evolving her approach to love and connection along with her growing sense of self.
They said dating in your 30s would be easier. Everyone's mature. They said everyone knows what they want. They said, spoiler alert, they lied. So I thought, let's move to Italy, land of romance, passion, and men who totally have their lives together. What I got? Men who have their moms still ironing their shirts. It's like I moved to the country of La Dolce Vita and ended up in a comedy sketch about red flags. But hey, at least I've learned something. Dating in your 30s isn't about finding the one. It's about finding someone who doesn't make you want to join a convent. And right now, that's looking like Mission Impossible.
I just want to know, are there any people out there in their 30s who feel like...
I feel like she's talking out of her ass. I feel like she's talking out of her ass. I feel like we also need to hold each other accountable for picking bad partners. Maybe that's also a reason we need to address this. If all your partners are dog shit, it's not only the men. It might be you picking the shit. It might you picking up garbage. You might be a garbage man. Like if somebody pulls up and is like, all my exes were abusive, all my exes were narcissists. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. All your exes weren't narcissists. They may have been bad people, but you picked those dudes. You picked those dudes.
Like they're just lost and confused in their life right now. People used to tell me, just wait till you get to your 30s. It gets so much easier.
Being lost and confused is a lack of social roles. Men and women had before all the revolutionary stuff. Men and women, in fact, had social roles that they needed to take on, whether they liked it or not. However, that is now no longer the case. There is no roles for men and women to be taken, and everything feels kind of, how do you put it, androgynous, because there is no roles anymore. And since there's no roles, everybody is confused and doesn't know what they need to do. That's why there's such a rise of trat wives and trat men and all that stuff. Not because they actually live a trat life, but because they live the more or less traditional, or like they live gender roles. Whether they are traditional or not, that depends. But they live gender roles, and that gives them a direction. And we can tell that the current system of do whatever you like and no gender roles and no nothing, no responsibilities, does not work. And that is the result. Hookup culture, confusion, that is the result.
I don't feel like that. Do I want to start a whole new career path? Do I want to keep my job? Do I just want to take whatever money I have left to my name and just run to Europe? Do I live in a city? Do I live on a farm where there's a bunch of cows and sheep and cute little dogs running around? I just frolic in the flowers and just be a farm girl. I'm 33. Do I need to try and look for a husband right now? I don't know. Do I just get a van and me and my little dog just go trip around and go on little road trip adventures together and experience things? Like, that sounds fun. Do I just move to a super cheap island and just work in a smoothie shack, you know? Like, there's no right or wrong in life, but it's like there's so many options and paths that you can take that I don't know anymore. I want to do so many things, but at the same time, I don't know what to do.
A result of everybody telling you do what you want. Do what you want is not a solution. Do what you want is not a solution. I just remembered something funny. Nobody asks why would a woman's life experience benefit a guy unless we're talking about actual skills to repair things or contribute to family stuff. I think something important that a lot of women need to realize is that men don't care really that much about their careers. And if a man does care about the woman's career, then there is a other goal behind that. And also, yeah, I think with life experience, since you put it in quotes, I think you mean being passed around. To be fair, I don't think that sleeping around with a lot of women is also beneficial for dudes. I mean, we have the numbers. We can literally confirm that the more partners either of us sleep with, the worse our marriage and relationships will be. It's just, yeah. I don't recommend either gender to do a lot of sleeping around. It's overall unhealthy. An overall unhealthy life choice. Absolutely. 100% it is.
Also, I don't really have the financial freedom right now to be able to experience a lot of things.
It sounds like this woman is having a real moment of clarity or confusion at 33. She's sitting with herself, asking the question, do I need to start looking for a husband now? And the truth is, she doesn't know. And that, right there, is the core of the problem. For years, society told her she had time. Social media told her to live her best life, chase careers, travel, and put herself first, which isn't inherently wrong. But the silence that comes later, when the nights get quiet and the parties fade, is what no one warned her about. Now she's wondering, did I wait too long? Did I miss something? See, the reality is, many women get to this age and suddenly feel the pressure of the clock, not just biologically, but emotionally. They want partnership, connection, stability. But here's the part that stings. While she was unsure, men who were ready kept moving. The ones who would have built something solid were overlooked when she wasn't thinking about marriage or wasn't ready yet. Now, she's looking around and wondering where they all went. This isn't judgment. It's just the hard truth. Confusion at 30.
They found the relationship. They found the woman that wanted them. And now she's sitting there essentially being left over.
33 is the result of years of indecision. If she wants a husband now, it's not impossible, but the pool is different. The game has changed, and the time to be intentional is now. The real question isn't, do I need to look? It's, am I ready to be the kind of woman that attracts and builds with the kind of man I say I want? Because until that answer is yes, the confusion will stay.
Pretty much. Does polyamorous relationship work? Like 3 or more people dating each other? It does not. The average polyamorous relationship lasts 5 years. That's it. The average polyamorous relationship lasts 5 years. It does not work. It has never worked. It will never work. There will be no polyamorous relationship that will hit 40 years. Will not happen. Will not happen. Does not exist. It does not exist. It is also not beneficial for child caring. It is not beneficial for overall mental health. There is nothing you can gain from a polyamorous relationship. They do not work. And let's face it, most of the people that are in a polyamorous relationship are in it because they can't pull faith. Either they themselves cannot be faithful, or they themselves cannot pull a faithful partner. Anyways, yeah, that was a sad shit show. That was a sad shit show. Yeah, women are cooked. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.